This is R.D. Sharma Solution, Class 12, Chapter 1, Relations, Exercises 1.2. So, the first question is, show that the relation R defined by R equals. So, what is the relation? Let me write it. So, this is R equals. This will always be an ordered pair, A comma B, and where A minus B is divisible by 3. By 3, I'll just write in short. And this A and B belongs to Z. Z is set of integers. Now, the next 5 questions, actually 6 questions, are like this. So you have to understand it very, very, carefully. So reflexive, what do? Wherever B is there, you put A minus A. So A minus A is divisible by 3 or not? Let us see. 0. And 0 is divisible by every number. Every number. Okay, 0 by anything, 0 by 3 is 0. Anything which is having a numerator as 0 will always count to 0. So this is reflexive. It is divisible by 3. Now symmetric. Now I'm just replacing A with B, B with A. So A minus B divisible by 3. Assume it to be divisible by 3. Let us see B minus A is there or not. So B minus A. Now A minus B is divisible by 3. So say 1 is 6, 1 is 3. 6 minus 3. So 3 is divisible by 3. 3 3 is a 1. And when we replace the number, that is A with B, B with A, 3 minus 6 is minus 6, minus 3. This is divisible by 3. Okay. So 1, and this will give you minus 1 only, but still it will be divisible. Or you can also think B minus A, you can write it as negative of A minus B, and since A minus B is divisible by 3, minus will not have any effect. The number is main. So from this it is clear that it is symmetric also. Now coming to the third part, which is transitive. Let me tell you again, the next 5-6 questions are like this only, right? Now transitive. So transitive, we assume that we take 3 numbers here. A minus B is divisible by 3, B minus C is divisible by 3. We assume this. And then we have to prove, or we have to see whether A minus C is divisible by 3 or not. Right? So how to do this? See, A minus B is divisible by 3. That means it has to be a multiple of 3. It has to be a multiple of 3. Then only it will be divisible by 3. So let us write it as a 3 into some constant. Any constant you can take. P I am taking, you can take X, Y, whichever you want. Similarly, B minus C is also divisible by 3. So let us assume it to be 3 into something. Let us say 3 into Q. Okay. Now let us add them. Please I upon A minus C. We need A minus C. That is why we are adding. A minus B plus B minus C. What do you get? This is 3P plus 3Q. And I am taking 3 common. So BB gets cancelled. A minus C, 3 common. And P plus Q, because P is constant, Q is constant, which we have taken only by ourselves. So P plus Q is also constant. Let us say it is K. So it doesn't matter what is the constant, but the thing matter is it is 3 into something, 3 into constant. So A minus C divided by 3 is some constant. So it is A minus C is divisible by 3. You are getting some constant. So because it is all 3, it is an equivalence relation. Equivalence relation means it has to be reflexive, it has to be symmetric, it has to be transitive. Right? So this was, the first question was CBSE 2008. Okay, please remember this has already come in CBSE 2008. Next one is NCERT question. Absolutely same as the previous one. Only 3 is changed by 2. Okay. Show that the relation R on the set Z of integers given by. So again the set is Z, that is the integers, and the relation is given by like this. Relation, if you understand the relation, if you can write the relation, if you can decipher the relation, the question will be solved very easily. So here 2 divides A minus B, that is Simply a minus b is divisible by 2, or a minus b is a multiple of 2. Same thing. Every sentence is same. Here divisible by 3, multiple of 3. Here also it is divisible by 2 we have to. So first let us start with the reflexive. So a minus a, as I said, 0. 0 is 0 by anything is 0 only. So it is reflexive. Okay. 2 is dividing this a minus a. Symmetric. Now replace a minus a and b. Replace a with b, b with a. So a minus b is 2, b minus a is what? You can write it as minus b minus a. When a minus b is divisible by 2, let us say it is 2 into some q. So minus a minus b, you can put a minus b as 2q here. So it is minus 2q, you are getting some constant. So it is having 2. That is, it is multiple of 2 or divisible by 2. Transitive means what? A minus b, b minus c. If it is divisible by 2, a minus b can be written as some 2q or 2p. Take any constant, it is up to you. B minus c I have taken as 2q. Now just add these two. A minus b plus b minus c is 2p plus 2q. This bb cancels, you get a minus c. So you can take 2 common, p plus q inside. Let it be some constant. So a minus c divided by 2 is some constant. So a minus c is divisible by 2. So it is transitive also. Same question, just a twist of number. Question number 3, same as the previous one. Prove that the relation R on Z is again integers, defined by a minus b is divisible by 5. And there is a question coming where we have to prove a minus b is divisible by some n. Okay, these are the specific cases. One question we are going to see just later on, which is a generalized case. Okay, so a minus b is divisible by 5 or 2 or 3 or n. So I'm just saying transitive because reflexive and symmetric you will be able to do. I hope you will be able to do. So I'm just saying transitive. A minus b is 5p. A b minus c is 5q. A minus b plus, I'm just adding these two. So 5p plus q, I'm saying p plus q is some constant. So just cancel bb, a minus c, and this is going to be 5 into some constant. So it is divisible by 5. Same as the previous one, 2, 3, 5, it doesn't matter. The next question is also the important question. The important part is, first was CBSE 22008, second was NCERT, and the third, which we just saw, a minus b divisible by 5, is CBSE 2010. Question number 4. Now this is the generalized form of the previous 3 questions. Previous 3 questions were specific. So let n be a fixed positive integer. Define a relation R on Z as follows. So 2, 3, 5, we will generalize it. A comma b, it belongs to R, and this implies only when a minus b is divisible by n. Is divisible by n. Okay. So how to do this? A minus b is divisible by n. Reflexive means what? You just put a as b, this b as a. So a minus a is 0, and 0 is is always divisible by any number. So n also it is divisible. This is reflexive. Now coming to the symmetricity. Symmetricity is what? Just replace a by b, b by a. So a minus b is divisible by n. So let us say it is n into some, say p into n, or n into p, and b minus a. Now b minus a can be written as minus a minus b, and in place of a minus b you can always replace this pn. So what does it mean? Minus pn. So it is divisible by n. You are seeing n, so it is divisible by n. Okay. So this, you can also write it as minus a minus b. Since a minus b is divisible by n, minus a minus b is divisible by n. Now reflexive symmetric we have done. Let us say transitive. So ABC we take 3, same as we have done earlier. A minus b is sub p into n. Because it is divisible by n, we are assuming it to be. B minus c is also, we are assuming q into n. And just add these two, assume it to be 1 and 2 equation. Add it, a minus b plus b minus c is going to be pn plus qn. And you can take constant p plus q. Okay, p plus q can again be a constant, so nk. So just cancel this bb, a minus c. A minus c is equal to nk. So it is, when you have n, that means it is divisible by n. Okay. So this is a generalized case of previous 3 questions actually. So now question number 5. So let me tell you again, equivalence relation are those relations which are reflexive, symmetric and transitive. So now we have, let z be the set of integers, show that the relation R, because if you know, set is all what defines a question. So here the set is z, which is integers. Relation is R equals a comma b, where AB belongs to Z and A plus B is even. So this Z is integer and we have to see whether it is equivalence relation or not. A plus B is even. Okay. Always keep in your mind this Z and then keep an eye upon A plus B. So reflexive A plus B, you have just to check A plus B. Now just replace a B by A, so A plus A is 2 into A. When you have 2, that means it is even. Every number which is multiple of 2 is even. For example, 4 can be written as 2 into 2, 8 can be written as say 2 into 4, and 16 can be written as 2 into 8, 5 cannot be written as 2 into something, neither 13 can be written, so they are odd numbers. So anything which has 2 as the multiple is divisible by 2 and it is even. Okay. Now coming to symmetric, this is not transitive, this is symmetric. So I am exchanging the position of A and B. So A plus B, and assume it to A plus B, assume it to be 2 into something, because we are assuming it to be divisible by 2 or even. So what about B? I am replacing A by B and B by A. So B plus A, just change the positions, you will get A plus B only, and that you can always write it as 2k. So A plus B and B plus A both are divisible by 2, or you can say they are even. They are even. Multiple of 2. Right? Okay. I just replaced A and B and I got that it is even. Now coming to the transitive. Okay, we already done symmetric. Let me change it to symmetric. Now transitive. Transitive, what we have to do? We take A, B, C, 3. So A plus B, this we have to assume that this is some 2p because it is even. B plus C is some 2q. Okay. Okay, now you can add them. See, these two equations, whether we have to subtract, whether we have to add, this all depends on what do we want. Because we need A plus C, because this A plus is there. So we have to add. Otherwise, in previous question, we have subtracted. So let us add these two, and now what do we get? Because there is a slight question. If we add, do we get something with 2? And what will happen with 2b? Because if we add, we'll get 2b. And we need 2. So, and we are also getting A plus C. So I'm just assuming it to be 1 and 2. And I'm adding it, A plus B. From here I get B plus C. And then this is 2p plus 2q. So 2p plus 2q I can write. Okay. Now if you see here, we get 2b, A plus C plus 2b. Now since we have 2b and we don't need 2b, we can just transfer it here. So, and we need A plus C. So it is 2p plus 2q plus minus 2b. So now you can take 2 common. Whatever is inside, we don't worry. P plus q minus b, we are not worrying about this. We are worrying that it is 2 into something. So we know that A plus C is even because it is multiple of 2 and something. I hope you got the idea. A plus C is 2 into something. This something is P plus Q minus B. So it is transitive also. So this is an equivalence relation on this set Z. Now question number 6. M is said to be related to N if M and N are integers and M minus N is divisible by 13. Does this define an equivalence relation? Now as I said, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the questions we have done, they are exactly like this. Now we have just changed number or the values as not A and B but M and the number by 13. I hope you got the idea. If you understood question number 1 till 4, this is exactly like this. M minus N divisible by 13. So reflexive, let us check. Just replace M with N and this N with M. Let us say N with M. So 0 is always divisible by 13. Symmetric is I am replacing M with N and N with M. So I am just changing the position. M minus N is what? This is going to be M minus N. This is 13 say into some constant K. So M minus N you can always write it as N minus N can be written as minus M minus N and you can always write it as 13K. So it is also divisible by 13. Coming to transitivity, M minus N, now I am taking 3, M and O. See, because the question is saying and the solution also I provided is having O, that is why I am writing O. But you can, O always confuses with 0. So always take something else. M minus N is say 13 into P and N minus O is something 13 into say any constant, 13 into Q. This is random I am taking. Now just add them. M minus N plus N minus O is going to be 13 P plus 13 Q. Because M minus O we want. So we want M minus O to be 13 into some constant. So when we add them, we get 13 P plus Q. N gets cancelled. M minus O is 13 into some constant. Okay. So now this is transitive also. Same as the earlier ones. Okay, 4th till 4th and the 6th. So 5 questions are exactly similar. This is 7th question. And this is an NCERT question. Please remember, 7th question is NCERT question. I am just suggesting those who are doing NCERT also and RD Sharma also, they don't have to do it because RD Sharma is having all the NCERT questions. So don't worry about NCERT. All questions are here. Now let R be a relation on the set A of ordered pair or pairs of integer defined by xy related to uv if and only if xv equal to yu. Show that R is an equivalence relation. Right? Okay. So just understand that what kind of relation it is. Because here ordered pairs are related. Means in a relation there are ordered pairs. And these ordered pairs are related to each other, not the elements of the ordered pair. That is ordered pair related. And how they are related? X, Y, U, V. So the extreme one, X into V, if you multiply them, it is equal to the internal multiplication, Y into U. Okay. X into V is Y into U. So we assume it to be, I am starting with the reflexivity. Now assume it to be AB related to, now we have XY and UV. Now when we are taking reflexivity, it will be XY related to XY. I am just saying it to be AB. You can assume it to be XY, you can assume it to be AB. But they have to be related to it themselves. So XY related to XY. So I just replace XY, UV here with XY. Because in a reflexive relation, A is related to A itself. So how this will hold? When the extreme multiplication X into Y, X into Y, I am just multiplying the extreme one which is X and Y and the internal one which is Y into X. But XY is equal to XY. This is true. So you get reflexive. Coming to symmetric. Now symmetric is saying if XY is related to UV, then UV should also be related to XY. So UV should also be related to XY. Now how this is related, we know already. Question is given, XV is UY. Here also you get X, this U into Y related to V into X. U into Y related to V into X, and that is exactly similar to the first one. Just the positions are changed. Left hand side, right hand side are changed. I am just changing the LHS and RHS. So they both are same. So this is also true. Coming to the transitive one. Transitive, I am taking now 3 ordered pairs. 3 ordered pairs. So XY is related to UV and say UV is related to, say, PQ. So we need to find out the way that XY should be related to PQ. Then only we will say that it is a transitive. Right? Okay. So how is XY related to UV? X into V is equal to Y into U. Here second one, U into Q is related to V into P. Now in order to get this, just multiply, because we need X into Q equals Y into P. This is what we want for transitivity. Now we'll multiply these two. XV with UQ, multiplying LHS, and then equating it to multiplying by RHS. So UY into VP, I'm just cancelling UV here, UV, you get XQ equals YP. So this is what we got. This is the same thing. This means, this ensures that XY is also related to PQ. These three all, so this is an equivalence relation. Question number 8 we are taking now. Show that the relation R on set A. So set A is bounded here. And when the boundary is given, we always check that X should not go beyond the boundaries. So X is belonging to Z, that is the integers, and X is bounded by 0 and 12. And there is a condition of relation which is given by A comma B, and A is equal to B. Relation is A equals B, and we have to see whether it is equivalence relation or not. So reflexive, in always reflexivity, we always replace B by A. So A equals B, I am replacing B by A, so A is equal to A, this is reflexive, A is equal to A. Symmetric, now I am replacing A with B and B with A. So if A is equal to B, I am replacing position of A and B. So B will be equal to A here. And this is same. If you say 2 equals 2 or 2 equals 2, either side, they are always equal, transitive. Now A is equal to B and B is equal to C. Do we get A equals C? Now this is very obvious. If A is equal to B, B is equal to C, A has to be equal to C. This is very obvious, right? So A equals C is obvious here. So A comma C also belongs to that relation if AB and BC are belonging to that relation. This is transitive also. Okay, there is one more part which is being asked here, is find the set of all elements related to 1. Now if you see here, this is an equality relation. So 1 can be only related with 1. 1 cannot be related to 2 or any other number which is between 0 and 12. Why? Because if you say 1 is equal to 2 and 2 is equal to 1, 1 is equal to 1, that is not going to be the solution. You will always get, because this is equality, please remember, this is equality, and when you have an equality, you will always get the same number. So when the question is asking, find the set of all elements related to 1, you are only interested in 1 and you will only get 1 because it is an equality relation, A equals B. You, in any way, in any chance, you won't get anything else. So let me prove it. Well, it is very obvious, but in order to, in the examination, you have to write. So what do you write? 1 equals 1, reflexive, 1 equals 1, 1 equals 1, this symmetric also, 1 equals 1, 1 equals 1, 1 equals 1, then only 1 equals 1. So there is no other number which can be related to 1 as far as A equals B is concerned. So 1 is the answer. So the set of all elements related to 1 in this particular case is only 1. You can only relate 12 with 12, 0 with 0. So 1 is the only relation. Now this is question number 9. So let L be the set of all lines in xy plane and R be the relation in L defined as R equals, what is the relation? Let me write it. R equals L1 comma L2, where this L1 is parallel to L2. So two lines parallel. This is the relation. L1 is parallel I'm just making two lines just to signify that it is parallel to L2. To show that R is an equivalence relation, find the set of all lines related to the line y equals 2x plus 4. So there is one more question along with equivalence relation. Set of all lines related to y equals 2x plus 4. So the first thing comes here is, see, if we have reflexive, if one line is related to the other line, in reflexive both lines are same. So both are L. So L1 is related to L1 or L is related to L. Both are same line. So when we are dealing with same line and the condition is a line is parallel to a line and they both are same, so it is reflexive. So even if you say L1 or L or whichever, same line is parallel to same line. So L1 and L2 belong to R. L1. So this is how L1 is parallel to L1. Every line is parallel to itself. This implies L1 and L2 belongs to R for all L1 which is belonging to this set of lines L. Now symmetry. Now we'll take L1, L2 here. If L1 is related to L2, that is L1 is parallel to L2. L1 is parallel to L2. Then if we change L1 and L2, if L1 is parallel to L2, this is quite obvious that L2 should be parallel to L1. If one line is parallel to another one, the another one will be parallel to the previous one. So it is symmetric as well. Coming to transitivity. So L1, L2, L3, we are going to take three lines. So if L1 is parallel to L2, this is what we are assuming. If L1 is parallel to L2 and L2 is parallel to L3, the three lines. So if L1 is parallel to L2 and L2 is parallel to L3, now it is again very obvious that L1 is parallel to L3. Okay. So one line is parallel to another one, the another one is parallel to the third one, so the first line is parallel to the third one. So this is transitive relation, L1 and L3, they are related. So if L1, L2, L3 are parallel to each other, L1 is parallel to L3, L1 and L3 belongs to R. So if I take you to the straight lines discussion which we had in the earlier sessions, y equals mx plus c is the general equation of a life with m as the slope, c as the y-intercept. So this is a line which is being given y equals 2x plus 4 because the question is saying that this line is in xy plane. So we are making a Cartesian plane. This m is the angle from the positive x-axis. Now if I make a line which is parallel to this one, the y-intercept will change because on the y-axis the cut is y-intercept, c. So if a line is parallel, the only c part which is 4 here will change. So depending upon this c, there will be multiple lines. Question number 10. Show that the relation R defined on a set A of all polygons as the relation is given like this. See, these are polygons, right? All polygons. So it can be a triangle, it can be a parallelogram, rhombus, pentagon, octagon, decagon, any. So this is whole A set. This is now we have, what is the relation? This is not A. We are just assuming it to be some set A. Now this polygon, two polygons are related. The relation is such that P1, P2, that is, this is the ordered pair. P1 and P2 have same number of sides. SNOS is short for same number of sides. So we have to show that this is an equivalence relation. And there is one more part to this question. What is the set of all elements in A related to the right angle triangle T with sides 3, 4 and 5? So let us deal with the first part first. Equivalence relation, that is when P1 and P2 we are dealing, P1 is equal to P2. They both are same. So reflexive is, this is one triangle. One triangle we are taking. I am taking an example. So if we are saying P1 is related to P2 such that, and here P2 is replaced by P1 because they both are same. So one polygon is having the same side as another polygon, and it happens that the second polygon is the same polygon which we are talking about as the first one. So both the polygons have the same side. So it is reflexive. Now coming to symmetric. Now if P1 is related to P2, that is P1 is having the same number of sides as P2. If I make one more triangle P2, so if the first one is having 3 sides, the other is having 3 sides, it is quite obvious that the second will have 3 sides, the first one will also have 3 sides. So P1 is related to P2 with the number of sides, P2 will be also related to P1 with the number of sides. So this is symmetric. Coming to transitive now. Transitive is saying what? When P1 is related to P2, P2 is related to P3. That is, we have say three polygons. I am taking triangle just for example. Let us take now a rectangle or say a parallelogram. So P1 and P2, they are two figures, 2 polygons having 4 sides. So P1 is having 4 sides, P2 is having 4 sides. Now P2 is having 4 sides, P3 is having 4 sides. P1, P2 are related, they have same sides. P2 is P3, 4 sides. So P1, P3 will also have 4 sides. P1 will be related to P3. How? They have 4 sides. So this is transitive as well. Now coming to the second part here. Since we have, the one more important part is, this is a NCERT question. So what is the set of all elements in A related to the right angle triangle T with sides 3, 4 and 5? So if you see here, this is 3 and 4. 5 can only come when 3 and 4 are on right angle triangle. That is 3 square plus 4 square will be equal to 5 square. 3 square is 9, 4 square is 16, 9 plus 16 is 25. So this will be a right angle triangle. So there is only one possibility. The set of all triangles belonging to A is related to the right angle triangle T with the sides 3, 4 and 5. Others what? There will be no other triangle corresponding to or similar to this situation. Question number 11 now. Let O be the origin. We define a relation between 2 points P and Q in a plane if OP is equal to OQ. Show that the relation so defined is an equivalence relation. Now what you see here is just like the question number 8 we have seen. This is exactly similar to the 8th one. Here the 8th question was simply about variables, and here it is geometric. Same thing in geometric interpretation. 8th question, question number 8 of this particular exercise 1.2, A is equal to B. Here they have said these are lines and the length we have been talking about, and length is A and B. Here length can be written as OP and OQ. So you can assume OP as A, OQ as B, and same way we have solved question number 8, we are going to solve it here. Right? So let us start with the reflectivity. So OP, when OP is related to OP, yes, it is related because both are having the same length, because OP is equivalent to OP. We are talking about same line. OP is related to OP. For example, A is related to A. This is reflexive. Coming to symmetric. Now OP is related to OQ because they are same. Length are same. So OQ will be related to OP? Yes. Why? Because these lines are also same. The first line is having equal length with the other one. The other will have equal length with the first one. Coming to the third one. OP, OQ. Now we have to have one more. OP, OQ, let us have one more point which is OR. Let me point it here in some other quadrant. So OP is related to OQ, that is OP is equal to OQ, and OQ is related to OR. So OQ and OR are related. So one line is equal to second line is equal to third line. This is quite obvious that the first line is equal to the third line. OP equals OQ, OQ equals OR, so OP equals OR. So this is transitive as well. So this is question number 11, and this is almost equal to the question number 8 which we have already done. Let's go to the question number 12. So it has certain parts. This is a NCERT question. So we need some more discussion here. Let R be the relation defined on the set A. The set A is given by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there are 7 elements in the set A, and you will know already that the relation will come out only from this set when this set is having a Cartesian product. So this relation will have 2 values which are the ordered pair, and both A and B are either even or odd, either odd or even. This is what is the condition. This condition we have to always fulfill, or we have to maintain this condition, right? So show that R is an equivalence relation, and there is one more part here. Further, show that all the elements of the subset 1, 3, 5, 7 are related to each other, and all the elements of the subset 2, 4, 6 are related to each other, but no elements of the subset 1, 3, 5, 7 is related to any element of the subset 2, 4, 6. So let me start with a proper discussion here. I am making set A. This relation will come out only from this A cross A. So this is set A. Again I am making set A 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let me just extend it. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And this relation will come out from the Cartesian product of these 2 sets. So 2 can relate with what? According to the condition. If both have to be even, 2, 2. Both have to be even, 2, 4. Both have to be even, 2, 6. 2 can only get related with 2, 4, 6, because the condition is either it can be even, both can be even, either both can be odd. Coming to the second even number, 4. 4 can relate to 2, 4 can relate to 4, and 4 can relate to 6. Now 6 can be related with 2, 6 can be related with 4, 6 can be related with only 6, because the relation condition is both have to be even, both have to be odd. So we are just taking both even. So I am trying to solve the second part first here, or try to tell you how the second part will be achieved, how that will be computed or solved. Now if I make a set, this is a relation. When I make a set, what will come? Only 2, 4, 6. Only 2, 4, 6. When they are related to each other, you will have 2, 4, 6, 2, 5, 6, 2, 4, 6. They are related with 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, only 2, 4, 6. So this 2, 4, 6 can only be related with 2, 4, 6 as far as the relation is saying. So set will have the set 2, 4, 6 cannot be related with anyone, any other number or any other set. So SE cross SE, if I take the Cartesian product of this, that will be this set 2, 2 till 6, 6. So 2, 2, 2, 4, 2, 6, 4, 2, 4, 4, 6, 4, 6 and 6, 4, 6, 2, 6, 4, 6, 6. So I hope you got the idea of the even one. In the same way, we can deal with, or we can explain the odd one. The odd one. Because the condition is either the both ordered pair, both values can be either even or both can only be odd. So let us make the odd one also. So 1, I am taking just odd one, because the condition is clearly saying either or even or either odd. So we cannot take any other. So SO, now this is SO, S for set, O for odd, subscript. So cross product, if you take cross product, what do you get? 1, 1, 1, 3, 5, 5, 1, 7, 3, 1, 3, 3, 3, 5, 3, 7, 5, 1, 5, 3, 5, 5, 5, 7, and 7, 1, 7, 3, 7, 5, 7, 7. This is the only possibility, because both have to be odd. So this whole set will be containing what I just spoken out. I have less space, so I just spoken out. So this has the odd set can only be related with odd, not with the even one, as far as the condition is concerned, because both have to be even, both have to be odd. I hope you got all the scenario. This is the scenario of this question. So we have actually solved the second part. Now coming to the equivalence relation part. So in order to explain, or in order to find out whether it is equivalence showing or not, set is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and it's better always to give you a glimpse of solution with an example. So if a number is related to itself, if 1 is related to 1, even or both you have to take. If A is related to A, let us say A is even or odd, and B is related to B, let us say it is even or odd. So let us take A as even. So 2 is related to 2. Both are even, 2 comma 2 is even. 7 is related to 7, 7 comma 7 is odd. So this is reflexive, symmetric. Now if I am saying 2 is related to say 4 is related to 6, that is 2 is related to 4, here I am taking 4 related to 2. So if 2 is even, 4 is even, and 4 comma 2 is also even. If we talk about odd, 1 is related to 3, 3 will also be related to 1. Both are odd. So it is following the condition as well. Transitive, we have to take 3 in both the cases, even odd, both the cases. ABC, here also ABC. Now A is related to B, B is related to C, A should be related to C. A should be related to C. So take A, B, C as even. So 2 is related to 4, so 2 comma 4 is even. 4 comma C, 4 comma 6, they are even. 2 comma 6, they are also falling in this set, they are even. In odd, take 1, 3, 7. 1 is related to 3, 3 is related to 7, 1 is related to 7, and 1, 3, 3, 7, 1, 7, all are odd. They are following the conditions also of this relation. So they are transitive as well. And second part I just explained you earlier. So this is 1, 3, 5, 7. We observe that all the elements of this subset are odd. They are related to each other. Similarly with the even one. Question number 13 here. Question number 13 is saying, let S be a relation on a set R of all real numbers defined by S equals A comma B belonging to R cross R, where A square plus B square equals 1. In all the questions from 1 to 12, we have proved it to be equivalence relation. But here in the 13th question, we have to prove that it is not an equivalence relation. What is the set? Set equals A comma B, which is belonging to the R set. Actually, it has to come from R cross R. It is a Cartesian product, and Cartesian product will give you the relation. So this is given as A square plus B square equals 1. Now if you want to check reflexive, just replace B by A. So A square plus A square equals 1. So 2A square equals 1. 2A square equals 1. So A square will be what? 1 by 2. A will be plus minus 1 by root 2. So it is not falling in the relation which is given here. The relation which is given, this particular value does not fall here. So it is not reflexive. It is not reflexive. Coming to the second one, symmetricity. So if symmetric, we just have to replace A by B and B by A. So A square plus B square equals 1. Now replace A by B and B by A. Put A as B and B as A. So you get B square equals A, B square plus A square equal 1, and they both are same. So it will be A square plus B square plus 1, both are same. So we are getting it as symmetric. It was not reflexive. Since it is not reflexive, by the first condition only, this relation is not equivalent. Why it is not equivalent? Because one condition failed. Now coming to transitive, A, B, B, C I am taking. A square plus B square equals 1, B square plus C square equals 1. How about A square plus C square equals 1? This is what we need. Is it possible? A square is what? 1 minus B square from here. I am just putting A square as 1 minus B square. And here I am taking B square, 1 minus B square as C square. C square is 1 minus B square. So this is 1 minus B square. It is equal to 1. Now is this a valid equation? If it is not valid, we can easily say that this is not transitive. So we have minus 2b square. Let us take out it on the positive side. So we'll make it as 2b square. 1 gets cancelled. So 2b square becomes 1 gets cancelled. So 1 will remain only. 2b square equals 1. So b square will be what? 1 by 2. So b will be equal to plus minus 1 by root 2. Again the condition fails as far as the relation and the set is concerned. So it is not transitive. So S is not an equivalence relation here. Reflexive failed, transitive failed, only symmetric it is. Now question number 14. So there is a slight confusing question here, because the set is slightly changed. Just to make that nothing goes 0, there are two sets S, Z. The Z is the set of integers and Z0 is the set of all non-zero integers. Z0, Z is an integer. Z0 is just integer with not 0. So Z cross Z0, this is the cross product from which we have to take out the ordered pair. So how this is related? This is related, AB is related to CD when AD is equal to BC. That is these two, we are multiplying the extremes with the inner one. AD equals BC. So wherever we do, we have to follow this condition. AD has to be equal to BC. And this should belong to the cross product of Z and Z0. So first is AB related to AB. Both will be same. How they will be related? A into B extreme and inner one is B into A. They both are same. AB is equal to AB. So this is reflexive. No problem with that. Symmetric. Now AB is related to CD. Is CD related to AB? Let us check with the relation. Both the cases multiply the extreme. AD here. Here internal one BC. What do you get here? CB is external one and DA is internal one. And they both are same equation. AD equal BC. AD equal to, that is AD equal to CB, that is BC only. So it is symmetric only. Symmetric. Transitive, AB is related to CD. Let us introduce one more. Let us introduce EF. So AB is related to CD and CD is related to EF. So what do you get here? AB is related to EF. This is what you have to prove. What do you get here? AD, I am multiplying the extremes. AD equals BC. BC. In the second one, I am multiplying extreme. CF equals DE. So what do we get? What should we get? I am multiplying both here. AD into CF equals multiplying these two equations. So DC, DC you can cancel. What do you get? AF equals BE. BE. But what do you get from here? AF equal B, and they both are same. So it is transitive also. This is transitive. Next is, since we have covered a lot of time, so I'll just do it here only. If R and S are relation on set A, then prove the following. R and S are symmetric implies R intersection S and R union S are symmetric. Okay. So now we will do it here only. And just remember, what does it mean when we say intersection? What does it mean when we say union? R intersection means the element should belong to both R and S. Union means the element can belong to either R or S, or it can belong to both of them. So let me do it here only. The first one is R and S are symmetric implies R intersection and R union S are symmetric. Let us start with the R intersection S. R and S are symmetric. This is given. When they are symmetric, that is A is related to B, so B should be related to A. Since it is A, we know that R and S should belong to A cross A. We know relation always belong to the cross product of A. So R is a subset of A cross A. This we have already seen from the first point go. A set is there. A cross A we do. The ordered pair will be formed and the relation will be formed from this ordered pair only. So R will also be a subset of A cross A. S will be a subset of A cross A. So R intersection S will also be a subset of A cross A. R and S both are subset of A cross A. So R intersection S is a relation. This is very clear. First we have to show that it has to be a relation. R intersection S has to be a relation. Then only we go forward. Okay. Now AB belongs to A, we assume. When AB belongs to capital A, set A comma B belongs to R intersection S. So if AB is belonging to R intersection S, intersection means AB has to belong to R and simultaneously AB has to belong to S. Now I am changing it the position. AB I am making it as BA and AB again I am making it as BA. That is A is related to B and B is related to A because it is symmetric. We have to prove it to be symmetric. So since R and S, they both are symmetric, since AB belongs to R and AB belongs to S, this BA should also belong to R intersection S. I am saying A and B belongs to R. BA belongs to R. If they both are true, this is symmetric and this is given in the question. That means if A comma B is belonging to R intersection S, or you can say B comma A is belonging to R intersection S, because since R intersection S, A comma B also should belong to R intersection S. What does it mean? When AB belongs to A and AB belongs to A, BA also belongs to A, and AB is belonging to R intersection and B also belonging to R intersection S, so R intersection is symmetric. Coming to R union S. Now consider A comma B. These are two values which is belonging to A. So A comma B is belonging to R union S. What does it mean? Union means AB should not belong to either R or S or both. That means R intersection S and I have written R union S, I have written OR. Here in intersection it has to belong to both. Here in union it should belong to either R or S. Now change the position. AB is belonging to R, so BA is also belonging to R. Similarly, AB is belonging to S, so BA is also belonging to S. And since we have R and S which is given in the question, they are symmetric. So B, because this is symmetric already given, so BA is also belonging to RUS, R intersection S. When AB is belonging to R intersection union S, BA is belonging to R intersection S. That means this is symmetric. R union S is also symmetric. Now second part, R is reflexive and S is any relation implies R union S is reflexive. So R is reflexive, that is we have a set A, we have some A here, just assume as say A is belonging to R, A comma A is belonging to R, and R is already given that R is reflexive. So when it is belonging to R, if you take union of S, union means it either belongs to R or S or both. So it is belonging to R. So A comma A is also belonging to RUS, R union S. This implies that R union S is actually reflexive on it. I am just saying R is reflexive. If we have any element in R, even if you take union of this R with any set, not S, but any relation, A comma A will always belong to this R union S. That means A comma A is belonging to R union S, R union S is a reflexive on A. Next one is 16th question. If R and S are transitive relation on set A, please remember R and S both are transitive relation on set A, then prove that R union S may not be a transitive relation on A, is not transitive. So if both are transitive, can you prove that R union S is not always transitive? Transitive means A related to B, B related to C means A related to C. Union is not always transitive. We'll take an example here. Let us start with A, which is ABC. I'm taking a set. We already done a question like this with 1, 2, 3. So I'm making two relations, R and S. R is having AA, AB, BA and BB. Why I made this? Because this is a transitive. This is absolutely transitive. Why? Because we have AA, AB. AB is there, BA is there, so A should be there, it is already there. AB is there, BA is there, A should be there, it is already there. AB is there, BB is there, so AB should be there, it is already there. Okay, BA is there and A is there, BA should be there, it is already there. So in all the cases it is transitive. Now I am taking one more set S, which again I am making purposefully transitive. So BB is there, BC is there, CB and CC. Now you can very well check here, same as the first one. When BB, BC is there, BC has to be there, BC is there. BC is there, CB is there, BB has to be there. It is already there. CB is there, CB is there, and BC is there. AA is there. BC, CB, and BC. So CC has to be there. CC is also there. So it is absolutely transitive. Now I am taking union. What I am trying to do here is there are 4 elements in R, 4 elements in S. AA, AB, BA, BB. I am taking union. So the union will contain AA, AB, BBA, BA, BB, BB, BC, CB, CC. R union S, let me tell you, R we have taken, S we have taken. Now in R union S, in R there were 4 elements, ordered pairs. In S there were 4 ordered pair. Now combine them. Make it a set of 8 ordered pairs. All of these 4 I am combining. Now when I combine this all 4, just see, AB is there, BC is there. Can you find AC here? Can you find AC in this all 8 of them? No. So it is not transitive. So when we purposefully took R and S as transitive and took R union S is clearly not transitive. So hence proved, if R and S are transitive relation on set A, R union S may or may not be a transitive relation on A. We have proved it to be not transitive. So here is one more question. Some of the additions may have this question, so you can just have a look. Okay guys, this is all about 1.2 exercise. Thank you so much and take care of yourself.